So this video is about Lab 2. As you walk through Lab 2, there might be questions, so I'll try to address them here as we go. First off, remember that I do my work mostly here on campus. Some of it will be on my home computer. Some of it will be in the C&G department computer lab. So everything you see will probably be different than your own, but it'll be very similar also. So here we have in step 2, you see the Ethernet 2, Ethernet 3, Ethernet 4, and Ethernet 6. These are all different connections that are on the computer. But if we look at the specific connections, we see that the device type is a VM virtual Ethernet adapter, VMware virtual Ethernet adapter, an Intel R Pro /100M desktop adapter, and an Intel 8257 9LM gigabit Ethernet network adapter. So I can tell that these number 2 and number 6 are physically real devices, while the other two here, 3 and 4, are virtualized. So if we scroll down, I'll then put the connection name in NIC 1. I figured that most of the students at home just have one NIC. The lab was kind of designed for 2, but we just kind of modified it a little bit to accommodate one NIC. So make sure you write the connection name, the connection status, which should be enabled. So here we see FRCC NetLab. We see these ones are enabled, but it should say something specific, not network cable unplugged or disabled. It should say something specific, like we see here, FRCC NetLab.local, and then the device type should be some sort of network adapter. When we look at the connected status, we can view the physical address, which could also mean, from our reading, we saw that it could mean, I didn't mean for that to happen. It could also mean flat address or even MAC address, more commonly related to as MAC address. But do realize that when you think of physical address, do have in mind the flat address and the MAC address in your head, just so that you're thinking there's multiple names for one, what could be just one physical object. The IPv4 address, in most cases, if you're at your house, it should be a 192.168 something dot something. The third and fourth octets are usually handed out by the router or firewall or whatever you might have in your house. The IPv4 subnet mask is going to be a 255.255.255.0, more than likely. That is a Class C subnet mask. Your link local IPv6 address is going to be a unique address set to your machine that also uses a variation, I shouldn't say it uses a variation of your MAC address also to make up that link local IPv6 number. I kind of answered that question for you. What is your vendor OUI? Make sure you Google how to figure out your vendor OUI. You'll be able to plug in your flat address there and figure out which vendor made your card. I won't answer those. Definitely try these challenge questions, and make sure you go back to the slides. The slides should be reviewed upon heavily within this course. They're going to have a lot of those answers in there for you and help figure out the week's content, the week assignment questions through labs, through slides. So make sure you have those slides open, and I would say print out the slides and actually use them as a template for your notes, maybe adding onto the slides a little bit on things you find important. Very, very, very valuable to have those slides. We want to see computer's IP configuration information. The basic command is ipconfig. It displays information for all network connections, including virtual NICs. And what is the basic IP information that is provided? It'll only provide you with a few lines of information. So make sure to write that down. ipconfig all, lots more information, gives you more answers to here. Note that each NIC has a unique MAC address. Remember, when you see MAC address, think of flat address, think of physical address. They're all the same. And then we go to the bottom, conversion. Convert your MAC address from hexadecimal to binary. Please keep the colons and dashes. So make sure you go back to week 1 if you've forgotten. Review conversion and how to do conversion to binary, from hex to binary. That'll help you out. Convert your IP address and your subnet mask from decimal to binary. Once again, reiterating that concept from chapter 1. So make sure you go in there and do the conversions as we saw from last week. Or simply hop on YouTube and look for my YouTube channel, George Lemos, FRCC, and that should take you right to my channel. And I believe that's the end of this homework video. Yep.